Breaking news in the Trayvon Martin case. After 45 days of inflamed argument and rising tensions in America, the prosecutor has announced that George Zimmerman will be charged with second-degree murder, a charge that could put him behind bars for life. His crime, shooting an unarmed 17-year-old while Zimmerman was patrolling the neighborhood. So let's go straight to ABC's Matt Gutman, who is in the town where Trayvon Martin died, Sanford, Florida, and everyone there has been waiting and watching. Matt.
With tremendous anticipation, Diane, good evening. It was a stunning turn of events. Just 6 weeks ago, George Zimmerman was arrested, cuffed, but the prosecutor didn't think that he had enough for a conviction. Tonight, he's in jail, facing possibly life in prison. 6 weeks, soaring tensions, cries for justice, and anticipation crystallized into this.
Today, we filed an information charging George Zimmerman with murder in the second degree. A capias has been issued for his arrest.
Special Prosecutor Angela Corey announcing her decision before a crowd of reporters as a nation watched.
Mr. Zimmerman is indeed in custody.
Ms. Zimmerman,
I will not tell you where. That's for his safety as well as everyone else's. Mr. Zimmerman turned himself in and was and by turning himself in was arrested on the capias that had already been issued.
Zimmerman claims he shot Trayvon Martin February 26 in self-defense.
We don't discuss the evidence in a case. It would be improper to do so.
And watching from Washington, Trayvon Martin's parents.
That Mr. Zimmerman is indeed in custody.
I have been up and down as if I was on a roller coaster. But I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that justice will be served.
Yesterday, Zimmerman's two attorneys quit.
He's not returning my messages, he's not returning my texts, and he's not returning my emails. He won't even give me a collect call.
In hiding and alone, his attorneys say Zimmerman may have come unhinged. But Zimmerman's friend, Frank Taffy, disputes that. He says he spoke to Zimmerman on Monday.
At no point did he sound like he was ultra depressed or in need of some sort of psychiatric treatment.
Taffy says Zimmerman is prepared to face justice. And Diane, tonight we learned that Zimmerman does have a new attorney, Mark O'Mara, and after 45 days on the run in hiding, most of them alone, tonight George Zimmerman will spend the night with many other people in the county jail. Diane.
All right, Matt Gutman, who's been covering this case from the beginning. I want to bring in ABC's legal analyst, Dan Abrams. So, Dan, second-degree murder, and we're talking not about premeditation, but nonetheless intent to kill under the law?
That's right. There are two requirements: that his act had to have been imminently dangerous and that he evinced what's called a depraved mind. The lesser charge here would have been a manslaughter charge. And in that case, the prosecution wouldn't have had to prove those two things that I just mentioned. It would have been easier. The burden would have been lower. But in this case, the prosecution going for the maximum possible charge without a grand jury.
What does depraved mind mean in this situation?
You know, and jurors will probably ask a very similar question when the judge instructs that. It's basically showing the intent, what is going on in his mind. Meaning, if they had not charged a second-degree murder and didn't have to show this depraved mind, they could simply say there was a fight, there was a battle, somebody died. Here, they are going to have to show something more with regard to what was going on in George Zimmerman's mind when he shot Trayvon Martin.
But after 45 days of white-hot publicity and headline-making news, can you get a fair trial?
They will be able to find a jury of people who maybe know something about the case. You don't have to find jurors who know nothing about it. You have to find jurors who are open-minded enough to be able to evaluate the evidence. And we've seen that in high-profile case after high-profile case. Occasionally you'll see a change of venue, but you almost always find a jury of people who can evaluate the evidence fairly.
As you listened to the special prosecutor, did you think she has a lot of new evidence, something we have no idea exists?
No, I think she just compiled the evidence. I think she looked at all of the audio tapes, listened to all of the witnesses, and then came to this conclusion. But I don't think we're going to hear a lot of new evidence because, again, there wasn't that much that we didn't know. We'd heard the 911 tape. We've heard from all the witnesses. And I think in this case, she's just put it together and drawn this conclusion.
Well, again, George Zimmerman is in jail tonight. The charge has been brought. Thank you, Dan Abrams. And the next chapter in this begins.